Yes, that's one function.
Wow. So that's reality. So, I mean, in general, duality is one of them, but they're also creating other reality, holding spaces for other realities, like the law of attraction. I don't know. I mean, I thought it's just one reality, which is the unit, which is duality of Quintrux.
Yes, you can say that's one multiverse worth of reality.
Right.
So from the zero to the ninth dimension, all of the space and time that's held within the grasp of your reality, the breadth of your perceptions, that's all one space and time.
Wow.
There's a lot that you can't perceive. You're only going to be
Exactly.
perceiving perhaps 100 years worth of value of perceptions, perhaps more if you really enjoy the moments and savor them, slow them
Yeah.
down. But other than that, if you live your life in autopilot, you may only remember 40 years of it or 30 years of it, depending on how much you wish your life away.
Wow. I see. So, okay. So the um what is the Quintrax does to our soul energy?
It divides it, it breaks it down. It takes
Okay.
the one and it breaks it down into the nine dimensions. So it divides it by nine, you can say, or it's technically 10.
Yeah. So the so the so we live in the matrix. We live with matrix, which is a planet, 3D planet with Gaia's consciousness. And the Quinteract somehow further dividing. I don't know how to imagine that. It's like we are living in a box of box. Is it right?
You're living in a box. Let's say you're living in a cube, everything is in the playground,
Hmm.
and you are existing in a bubble inside of a group, one bubble full of other bubbles. So every sun in your solar system, that's just another bubble. Every planet in your solar system, that's just another bubble. And they all have their own matrices of their own.
Hmm.
So you're just a bubble in amongst other bubbles, really.
And the Quinteract is the biggest bubble.
That's right. That's all it
And
really is.
and outside of the the ring, the edge of the bubble of the Quinteract is what? The void or the
You would call it the anomaly, most likely.
uh, anomaly? Let's see.
Yes. So just for clarity, if that was confusing for anyone, the cube is actually a sphere. We're just trying to make it very simple for you all to conceptualize.
Cube is sphere.
The
Okay,
playground, in reference to the cube, is actually a sphere.
I see. Okay,
Everything is spheres, you should know.
okay.
Almost everything.
Thank you. Thank you. My final question. Um, can you can you somehow explain what is the dragons in Unity looks like?
We can't quite do that because they're not dragons for that long, typically. They may only be dragon for a moment until they take a deep breath and then they become a butterfly. And
Oh.
when they breathe once as a butterfly, then they become a mole and they begin digging in the ground. And they take another breath and they become a frog jumping on a lily pad. So dragons are transmutationalists, essentially. They're those who shift and ebb with experience, with flow, with energy, with light, with color, with frequencies, with many things.
And the reason for that is because of the Elysium required the as a system requires the energy beings to do so. Like you can't hold the shape.
You can hold a shape if you want, and you can hold it for as long as you like as well. But no one stays the same shape. There's no purpose for that. There's no most superior shape.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. And they're only crystal, and they are crystals.
They
I
are
mean, they're
crystals
crystal.
because they are unified. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Apologies,
you.
class, for the feedback. We'll have to have headphones on in the next class.
Sure. That's all for me. Thank you.
Karen, and then Kurt, then Larissa, and then the moderator.
Very well. Karen,
Greetings there.
greetings.
I would like to just talk about the white domain for a moment.
Yes,
Um, okay, so I have it here that in the white domain there are infinite teachers.
it will be us,
Okay.
but we are infinite.
Yes, I understand. Okay, good. My so placing in it is so it's you. Okay. Mhm. Hmm. Okay.
But we are all parts of the white domain. So if you go there, you're with us, and we're with you, and we're helping you. And whenever you need, will be provided.
Okay, that was my question. Do I need to go there with an intention or I because I do believe I was there and I
Yes,
didn't go in with an intention, but I did receive something. So intention's not necessary.
it's not necessary, but if you want something, you can always ask,
Okay,
and we'll do
very
what we can within reality's resistance to give it to you.
okay. Okay, and just one other question. I've heard this many, many times in the school. Where does the earth meet the sky?
Well, perhaps right at the ground.
That's what I thought. Okay. Okay. All right. I've been thinking about it a lot. All right. Thank you.
You might even say it meets at the top of the mountain as well, but it's typically closer to the ground.
Very good. Okay. Thank you.
That was a fun question.
Kurt.
Kurt,
Greetings, Golden.
greetings.
I was listening to Shing's question, trying to describe perhaps the separation or what is the different realms and the different how Quintorax relates. And I brought to mind there's a movie called, I believe it's Inception, where there's dreams within a dream within a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is there a way that that would apply to describing the different densities or dimensions or the different realms that might help myself, maybe even Shing, understand? Does that help? You know,
It does.
does that analogy? Is there a way you can use that analogy? Maybe that we're living a dream within a dream within a dream that are all different. How does that apply to us?
Yes, it's exactly what's happening, actually. You are, every time you fall asleep, let's just say, that's the equivalent to starting to play someone else's game. So you fall asleep, and while you're playing the game, you are asleep. You're dreaming. You're having the experience of limitation. But sometimes when you're in a game, you find it entertaining to play another game. How many of you play video games? You don't necessarily need a round of hands, but it doesn't have to be a video game or just any game, even Monopoly or chess or checkers. These are all games that you're playing inside of your game. Very simple games, typically, but in comparison to your life. But what if there was a game that was created that was more enticing than the game of life that you're living? Your technology is coming to a point that is very exciting. Artificial intelligence will create realities that are indistinguishable from reality eventually. That, in combination with haptics and augmented reality, will really make it difficult to make the choice. Do you want to be here in 3D or 4D experiencing your lives, or do you want to be in that simulation? Now, every time we're adding complexities to simple things. Every time you fall into another game while you're in a game, you drop down a dimension again. So you're sleeping, And in that dream, you're sleeping. And in that dream, you're sleeping. And this happens infinite amount of times. And when you're awakening, you're essentially waking up from the lowest dimension of you. And then you gain access to higher dimensional abilities because you've just gone from the 1.1 dimension to the 1.2 dimension, let's just say 1.2 dimension. And then you wake up in the 1.2 dimension, and then you're in the 1.3 dimension. And with every dimension that you wake up, you're more awake, you're more aware, you're more conscious, you're more psychic, you're more intuitive. All of these factors come into play. Now, you're not in the, well, you're in the first dimension, but you're typically not consciously at first dimensional range. You're within the third points, upper echelons of the third dimensional range with your telepathy practice and with your conscientious thoughts and imaginations of higher realities. This is not a thought pattern of a low third dimensional being or character. So that's excellent. And the more you awaken, the more you wake up from the dream, then the higher your dimension will rise. So this is why we're trying to wake you all up.
Okay, thank you very much. A follow-on question, because it got me thinking while you were talking that I have no idea which dream I'm waking up from every morning then. But my question is that also in this movie, there was a unique concept that they had an artifact that would help them determine which level of sleep or dream they were in. Is there something similar, or is there a thought process that we could use to help us assess that we're in a certain state or dream or dimension or density?
We understand what you're referring to, but there's no spinning top in this reality. But if you are in a dream and you want to know, are you dreaming or are you in reality? You can create this psychic construct, if you wish to call it that. And it falls if it's real in reality, and it doesn't fall if it's not reality, if it's in the dream state.
If it falls, it's in reality. If it
If it's
doesn't
fall, if
fall,
it falls, it's real life.
okay.
It's all a dream, really. So it's hard to answer that perfectly.
I understand because there's different rules and different densities or dimensions as we go up, and so you probably have to know the different rules to between each level to understand that you're lower or higher in dimension. Okay, that makes sense. So for
Yeah.
us in the third dimension, if it falls, then we're in reality. If it doesn't fall, then we're in a lower dream state or dimension.
You're just in a state beyond physical reality. That's all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you
Because
very
there's
much.
no gravity in that place, perhaps, or the rules aren't exactly the same. So that's what you're looking for in the dream.
All right. Thank you very much, Golden.
Very well.
Larissa.
Larissa,
Greetings, Thea.
greetings.
My first question is in regards to the law of time.
Yes.
And so I'm not sure, I kind of was losing my question because it's kind of hard to imagine, but I think I can say it. So, does the law of time cause one to not be fully conscious? Like you have a conscious part and an unconscious part?
Well, we wouldn't necessarily say that because you need to be conscious to experience time. But we would say that time is a single thread of, let's just call it any material, but let's call it a thread of silk, just for fun. At the beginning, it's singular. There's only one thread. That's the moment of your birth to a short moment, perhaps a week or so after your birth. There's only one timeline that exists there, essentially. And at the moment of your death, or when you exit the game, is perhaps the best rule to give. there's only one thread. So you exit the game the same way every single time. However, in between A and B, in between here and there, there's an infinite amount of threads. So the spool of thread unwinds into almost in the shape of a candy wrapper, a small candy that you get from a restaurant. So it's a straight line, and then it breaks up into
Yeah.
infinite realities, and then it closes down into a singularity.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the game. So that's time.
Okay. Like, I guess my thinking behind that is that we can't be fully aware of every moment of everything. We can't be fully aware. We're only partially aware. So that's, I guess, what I was referring to, conscious and unconscious.
We understand. You can only be in one timeline at a time.
Right. Okay. And then once we're out of time, then we can see all. Maybe.
That's correct.
Okay.
Once you're out of your body, actually, you can see all the timelines.
Okay.
Your body limits.
Yes.
So let's explain, because this is quite complex. So you are the singularity. You are the thing that travels along this straight line at the beginning of the silk thread, let's just say. Once you're born, multiple opportunities of choice appear. Different parents, you act differently in different situations. You cry here and you don't cry here. Many things change. And depending on your consciousness determines which thread you're going to be on. Now, as you advance through this singular linear strand of life, you can jump. Your physical body stays on the same thread always. And there is all of these infinite amount of opportunities that your physical bodies are present in every single one in the third dimension. So there's an infinite amount of Larissas in this circumstance that exist on these infinite amount of threads. There's only one of you per thread, though, unless you have clones, of course, but that brings complexities. But now your consciousness is more powerful than your physical body and your physical structure. So your consciousness can leap from this body into a timeline that's relatively close to that timeline. And that's how you navigate and control time with your consciousness.
Right. So it's not necessarily a Quinterax thing. It goes beyond Quinterax. Like,
time exists beyond Quinterax, but it is a creation of Quinterax, but it exists in other places too.
Okay. Yes.
So it is a Quinterax thing for officials.
Okay. My next question was about the bubbles. We were talking about bubbles.
Yes.
And I know that inner earth beings are in their own bubble. And I was curious about how unified their bubble was.
More unified than ours, or yours, you might say.
Like, significantly?
Because they likely exist in a fifth dimensional space. And you're existing in a third and transitioning into the fourth dimensional space.
Right. So that's naturally more unified because it's higher dimension. Okay. Yes. Okay. And my last question was in regards to you. And so is Golden the name for all three of you?
No, that was just a nickname that we gave to ourselves.
Okay, yes, because I know that happens. Sometimes beings in general give maybe a name that's not quite theirs yet, but then once you get to know the being, you get their truer name.
Yes, but the channel discovered who we were.
Yeah. Okay.
And we were actually going to call ourselves Golden for longer, just to build the tension.
Oh, okay.
Because there is pleasure in curiosity and who is this character? And what stories do they have to tell, and what flavors their personality? And there's many different curiosities to that. So, but they just spoiled the surprise so quickly.
Oh, okay. Sorry, but we like Golden and Thea. Would you like us to call you Golden too?
You can call us whatever you like.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm done with my questions. Thank you.
Very good.